Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soccer Sharps, a soccer betting podcast. My name is Jordan. I'll be your host tonight, as well as your co-capper. I'm joined by my friend and one hell of a soccer capper in his own right, Nick Dianni. We're going to break down 6 European club soccer matches for you and close out the show with all of our best bets for the weekend.
Martial, Herrera, Ibrahimovic! Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Balotelli, Aguero!
Yes, indeed. We are back. As you can tell, regular viewers, listeners, my brother and co-host Devin, not on the show. He's out of the country. He's traveling in Colombia right now. But he's still found time to troll me in the chat. As you can see here, Jesus Christ, does this show ever start? Says Dev. Thanks for tuning in, Dev. It's great. Haven't
That's
missed
on me.
you at all. Yeah, I blame the talent. I blame Nick Dianni, our guest here, who you know from the Kicks and Picks podcast, you know from the Plus Money podcast. Nick, we're going to be breaking down some matches together, but first of all, how you doing, man? How's the soccer season started off for you?
Yeah, man. Hey, happy to be back on. Thank you for the invite, for sure. I get the chills when I see the graphics and the intro that you guys put together, all the hard work that nobody sees, or maybe people don't know how long that shit takes. You guys do an incredible job making this show look like it belongs on TV. So happy to be back with you. But the season hasn't been good. It's one of those. I give out really good advice, and then I don't take that advice. I'm a huge believer that early in the season, lines are wrong. Underdogs are really, really live. And we've seen that over the first couple weeks in England. We've seen it in Germany. We've seen it in Italy. Underdogs have all the value. And I feel like the last 2 weeks, I just went out and took all favorites. So don't know what to say. You might see more of the same from me this week, but just, man, be cautious because these teams they're not in sixth gear yet by any means.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, favorites got to win sometime, right? That's why they're favorites. Eventually, they're going to get you a win here. But look, yeah, it hasn't been much better for me either. Let me show you last week's results here from Dev and myself. Yeah, not great. We each went 2 and 3 on our picks, losing about a unit each there, and then the combined, obviously, 2 and 4. And 2 and 6, it should say. See, a lot goes into the show, like you said, and sometimes you get the graphics wrong. I'll show you here the season record where we combine our first 2 shows from the first 2 weekends. Yeah, minus 5.24 units across the 2 weekends here. So look, we're looking for a bounce back here, and yeah. I got to say, Nick, I hope you can help us bring that average up here. Let's make a few units back. You know, with all the plays you and I have between us tonight, we can overturn that 5 units.
I think we can.
Certainly
Hey,
can.
just remember, long season, right? Right, guys, don't get too high, don't get too low. Keep your unit sizes the same. That's what I would say early in the year, especially. But I feel good. We can do it.
Absolutely. And look, we've already got our first international break coming up after this weekend. So we get a little break to reset, take a look at the data points we have from the first 3 weeks and see how it goes. Listen, if you're joining us live, much appreciated. Please do consider dropping a like on the video here, wherever you're watching it, whether it be Spotify, whether it be YouTube. Really goes a long way to helping us out. And we do apologize for getting started a little bit late. I had asked Nick ahead of time while we were waiting here, what are your best bets, chat, for the weekend? Only one person respond before Devin started trolling me. And here it is. Martin Guzman with Bruno Fernandes to be booked at plus 350. That seems like a massive price, especially with what's going on with Man U right now. You like that bet, Nick?
I like it a lot. And that number is shocking to me. So especially what's going on in the EPL, I feel like games have been card happy through the first 2 match days. So I really like it.
Yeah, we don't have cards markets out here in Arizona, and that's something I
I don't have it in
often.
Florida
And
either.
yeah, it's too bad because there's obviously some value there. But yeah, look, as I said, we're going to cap 6 matches for you guys, and we're going to jump into the first one here. We're going to start off in the EPL, and look, there's only one place we can start, right? The big one. On Sunday, marquee match, Liverpool hosting Arsenal. Oh boy, this could be tasty. This one sees Liverpool as home favorites of a quarter of a goal on the Asian handicap, and the total set at 2.75. Nick, I got to tell you, I've lost, well, in back-to-back weeks now, I've lost on Liverpool matches, and they've been bad beats every time. In the first match against Bournemouth, I had both teams to score in under 5.5.
Oh,
That sixth goal from Salah coming deep into stoppage time. And then last weekend, or actually it was the start of this week, I guess, Newcastle double chance. I thought I was home and hosed, but no, in the 100th minute, I lose that bet. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't even be betting Liverpool games, but here we are. It's on the card. I got to play for it. What are you seeing in this match?
there's a lot of ways this one goes. If I just look at the odds, I think Liverpool money line is like the story that the books are telling here, and I kind of subscribe to it. They're at home. They should be favorites. I don't know what to make of this Arsenal side just yet. They beat Man United. Turns out United still aren't very good. They put 5 past Leeds. I don't think that's a big accomplishment. So they probably feel pretty good coming into it, but it's just one of those games where I think you should sit back, enjoy it. Wouldn't shock me if Liverpool win. Wouldn't shock me if there's a draw. I think the draw at plus 250 is a really live bet, but the way Liverpool's defense are playing, you have to go Arsenal team total here at plus 160. Liverpool's given up 2 goals in both of their league matches. They gave up 2 goals up a man last week. Yeah, I know Arsenal's a little bit shorthanded in this game. They do have some injuries, but I don't know. Liverpool's given up goals to everybody. So that's my favorite play, but certainly can see a lot of outcomes in this one. Like a 2-2 correct score is like plus 1,000. That wouldn't shock me.
Oh, man, that would be entertaining. I would love for that to be the score line of this match. And yeah, look, yeah, you say Arsenal a little bit shorthanded, but no one were more shorthanded than Newcastle, who were down 2-0 and down to 10 men and didn't even have a striker starting in the first place when they had 11 men. And they were dominant against Liverpool in that second half. I was pretty shocked by it. I think this Liverpool team has real problems. I'm not saying they can't address them, but at the moment, they're just so open. It's so easy to play through them. You said they've conceded 2 goals in each of their first 2 league games. They also conceded 2 goals in the Community Shield to Crystal Palace. Yeah, it's kind of worrying. And I'm with you. Hands up right now. My official play for this match is also Arsenal team total over 1.5. It's too big. Plus 160 with the teams that are already putting 2 past Liverpool. I mean, obviously it's at Anfield. It's a marquee match. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be locked in. So it makes you a little bit worried when you don't have all of Arsenal's personnel. But honestly, what have we seen that makes you not want to take a swing at plus 160? Right. You know, I'm losing minus 130 bets.
Right.
I'm going to take the plus 160. I'm going to take the swing. So
no, that's
the
exactly
only
it.
thing... No, go
Sorry,
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you off. No, I think Liverpool are still just trying to find their way and trying to find their best formation, and that's leaving them a little bit exposed. And I think there's always a little bit of a hangover coming off of a title early on in the year. And that's kind of what we're seeing.
That's a really good point. Yeah, you do see that a lot. We've seen it in the last few seasons. Really good point. The only thing that makes me worry about this is, I mean, it kind of sucks that we have like a potential title decider level match this early in the season, right? When teams are still figuring stuff out, the transfer window's still open. Because I wonder, is Arteta just going to say, let's not get beat? Let's go in there. Let's play terrorist ball. Let's shut it down and be, like we've seen them do at Man City last season, that kind of a performance. If that's the game plan, it makes me a little worried about the team total, but I feel like they can't resist when they're going to see some of these gaps and the big spaces that are opening up. And I feel like they just won't be able to resist and they'll go forward. That's what we're banking on. Obviously, you and I in agreement here. And I love that because we didn't talk about our plays ahead of time. We were both on this one. So, look, we ride or die together, my man.
Love it. No, nothing better than when you have a play and then you see somebody else who you respect have that same play. It makes me feel that much better. So, no, I listen. The final thought is like it's now or never for Arsenal, really, this year. Maybe not this game, but maybe this game. Like you have to leave it all out there. You can't dictate when the schedule says you play somebody. I get it. You're away. Coming out of this game with a draw is probably an okay result for them. It's an okay result for both teams, but
Yeah.
you have to go all in if you're Arsenal. You can't go another year of trust the process.
No, absolutely. That's well said. And look, we got Bob DeVita in the chat here saying, bet Liverpool money line, cash it at 2-0. Yeah, if you're on a bet on a book that allows you to cash at 2-0, then bet Arsenal team total over 1.5, cash that, call it a day. We've seen this before. Yeah, look, we're all rooting for the 2-2, I think. 2-0 Liverpool at halftime and then 2-2 to end the match. I love that shout there. But let's move on. We got another tasty EPL matchup taking place on Sunday as well. This one actually kicking off before the Liverpool match. And it's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion hosting Manchester City, who are coming off of a home loss to Spurs, of all teams. This one sees Brighton as half-goal dogs at home here. Man City favored by that half a goal. And the total set at a flat 3, juice slightly to the under here. Nick, I mentioned it. Man City... You know, I feel like in the community, we're so quick to react to one result. Everyone was after the Wolves match, City are back, look out, they're coming back for the title. And then they play Spurs, lose at home. Oh, they're still flawed. It's definitely going to be Liverpool's year. How are you seeing it? How do you react to what we've seen from Man City and from Brighton so far?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing out of City is a team in transition. They're no longer invincible the way they were for the better part of 5 or 6 years. And we saw that last year, and okay, that's carrying over, which is kind of good. It's great for the league, I think, right? You're not, it's not a guaranteed 3 points out of City. But Brighton have been awful. I don't really have any other way to put it. They just haven't looked good through 2 games. I don't have a good thing to say about them. City I didn't think we'd get a number like this on City, and I get that it's not the same team, but if you're giving me minus 120 money line on Manchester City, I almost don't care about the circumstances. I'm going to take it. It's just don't do as I say, but follow me. I don't know. I mean, this is a situation where I told you at the start of the show that, hey, Brighton's going to be live plus 300. Give them half a goal. They're at home. Very well could happen, but I just can't resist. When I saw City at minus 120, they have to bounce back from last week. I just don't think there's too many good teams at the top of the table in this league that you can't continue to dig a hole, even if it's week 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, good time to bring up the fact that if you are viewing this on video, you will see some price discrepancies for the prices that Nick and I got versus what are on these cards. That's because we're aware of these things. We bet early, and then by the time I get to make the cards, the lines have changed, and I don't want to do all the backtracking. So, yeah, always good to get your bets in early if you like something. But, yeah, look, I'm with you. Road favorites. What could go wrong, right? But you're right. I haven't been impressed by Brighton. I think City... I think they fell victim to a really good game plan from Thomas Frank and Spurs, and that's not out of the ordinary. Spurs, for whatever reason, no matter who the manager's been, whether it's been Conte, Nuno, even Ange, and now Thomas Frank, have struggled or have done well against Man City. So and then you bring in Thomas Frank, who's also done well against Man City. Maybe you chalk it up to a bad day at the office. For whatever reason, we can't deal with this team. Man City's done quite well against Brighton in recent seasons. I think they'll be fine here. I agree with you. I have not been impressed with what I've seen from Brighton so far. I think we get a little bounce back here from City. They've obviously got a lot of different personnel that they've got to adjust with, but I think Pep will be prepared for this one. I think they close this out, head into the international break with another win. They've really got to, right? You don't want to slip too far behind. So, yeah, I'm with you. This was another one. We're on the same play here. I was on Man City money line. Again, we didn't talk. First two plays, exactly the same. Do with that what you will, people. Fade or tail, but we are in sync again for this one. So Man City to win the match. Let's go. Now, we're going to move over to a new league, a different league here. We're going to go over to the Bundesliga. And we're dealing with the champs, FC Bayern Munich, traveling to Augsburg, who had a field day last weekend. Shaming Freiburg, real smash and grab there, scoring multiple goals on the road. Pretty impressive. But if you dig into the numbers on that one, maybe a little bit lucky there. They were certainly outplayed statistically, but hey, the only stat that matters is the goals, right?
Fact.
Yeah, so we got Augsburg at home here hosting the champs. The lines are insane. We have Augsburg catching 1.75 goals at home here, and the total set at 3.5. Choose slightly to the over, and that's what I'm thinking here. I have to say, Nick, we used to make money on this podcast hand over fist on the Hansi Flick days of Bayern Munich, betting Bayern to win, parlayed with over 3.5 goals, and it was just every week pump it, pump it, pump it. I think those days might be back. Am I wrong?
I tend to agree with you. Absolutely. This team is a juggernaut. There's no other way to put it. They're just absolutely stacked in the offensive positions. Get your over 2.5s, over 3s in Germany while you still can. I think every game but one had 3 goals last week in the Bundesliga, if I'm not mistaken. You're going to see these lines at 3.5 sooner rather than later, right? That's pretty much the standard over-under for Bundesliga, but typically in August, early September, you can still find some 2.5s. This isn't the case, but I'm with you. I wouldn't be mad if somebody took a Bayern team total over 2.5. I think that's fair. Over 3.5 on its own. I dug deep for this one, because obviously any sort of money line is unplayable. The spread's a little tough. I think Olise is off to a fantastic start. I think he's going to be featured a little more prominently. You didn't really talk about him all that much last year, and he had something like 25 goals, right? Because Harry Kane was the guy. So I'm going to take a little bit of a swing here. 2 shots on target, but it's a big number, plus 170. So if he's starting, we're going to take a swing.
Yeah, I love that. Michael Golise, we're calling him this season. And yeah, I'm with you. Look, I just think the juggernaut days are back. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the signs. Now, they did struggle in the midweek to get past a third division team in the Pokal, right? Needing a late Harry Kane penalty to get that over the line. But different mentality in the cups, especially when you're showing up to a third division side. It's the mentality's different. So, and they got it done eventually anyway. I'm not too put off by that. And I'm not too put off by what Augsburg did in the first match this season. In fact, I'm kind of banking on Augsburg getting on the score sheet here. I agree with the market. Both teams to score, yes, minus 143. Absolutely think they can score here, especially with what we saw when they played Freiburg. So that's going to factor into this. Now, what I probably should have done is just go over 3.5. Minus 114. It's a playable price. But, I got to be greedy. I'm counting on Bayern to score the majority of the goals. I'm going Bayern money line. Parlayed with over 3.5, and that's coming in at plus 115. Not the most massive jump, but I think it's a decent enough jump for something that's likely to happen. Here we are again, Nick, taking road favorites. What could go wrong, baby?
I mean, your logic is sound. In what world is there 4 goals in this game and Bayern don't win?
Right.
I'd be really, really impressed. If you believe that, take Augsburg plus 900. Take them plus 2 goals. You know what I mean? So I'm with you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I love it. And chat, look, we got at least double digits of you. I know 21 plus right now in the chat. I hope you've all hit the like button. Thanks for being with us live. I know it's kind of late in some regions, so we do appreciate it. But let us know what your bets are. You're in the chat here. We want to hear what you guys are betting. And are you fading us? Are you tailing us? What do you think? we're going to move on now to La Liga, and we're going to start off with a match where I messed up on the graphics once again. Again, go back to what Nick said at the beginning of the show. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. Sometimes
A lot of
as
red on the
humans,
graphics.
that's a lot of red, matching cup. We really think about everything here at the Soccer Sharps. But I didn't think to include a second team, and now it looks like Girona are facing Girona. They are not. It is Girona hosting Sevilla, and this one sees Girona as home favorites. That's weird. Of minus a quarter of a goal, and the total is set at a low 2.25. The reason I balked at that is I don't see why Girona should be favorites facing anyone right now. They have been absolutely dreadful to start the season, and they were dreadful in preseason, conceding goals like a sieve. Not that Sevilla have been much better. They're 0-2 to start the season as well, but they're at least competing. They're scoring goals in their matches, and they've been entertainers. I'm hoping this one will be entertaining too. Nick, do you see anything in this one?
Sevilla's a team I haven't gotten right much over the past couple of years, but like you said, I think they have a little bit of a fight in them. I think they will eventually improve. But I was confused when I saw this line and Girona being the favorite. I'm like, okay, that means they're going to score. So if we think they're going to score, I think Sevilla scores too. Both teams to score. I actually locked it in at minus 110. So a little bit better than what's showing here. Certainly shop around. That number could be different at your book. It definitely has moved. I'm glad that it's moving in my favor, I guess, right? The
Right.
books are starting to agree. But I think at home, if Girona's getting this kind of number, I feel like they have a goal in them. So I like both of these teams to score.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe this is one at home, given some of the disappointing results so far. They really kind of have this one circled, and they see the kind of goals that Sevilla are also conceding, and they say, we can get on the score sheet here, have some confidence, and go forward. We don't have the same play for this match, but our thinking is aligned.
Is that
here.
allowed?
What's that?
Is that allowed? We can.
Yes, that is allowed. We can diverge from time to time, especially when it's still correlated. And it is here. I'm just going with the over, right? And
Beautiful.
Once again, I'm being greedy. I could have gone over 2.25 there, but I want that plus money. I'm going plus 105 for over 2.5, right? If I cash the over 2.25, I'm probably cashing the over 2.5 as well. Well, I'm definitely cashing, right? So it's just risk versus reward there. What have you seen from these two teams in their opening few matches that makes you think this is going to be a 2.25 line match? I don't see it. I'm fading the market here. I think this one could potentially go over 3.5. This is one I might consider for a ladder play if you really wanted to get greedy.
Definitely. We're talking about two teams with, I think, 4 goals in every match they've played, right? Or at least 3 goals in every match they've played.
That's right. Yeah.
No doubt.
And preseason wasn't much better. I mean, just goals left and right for both
defense
teams.
at a premium between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one might not have made most people's must-watch card for this weekend, but I really think it could be an entertaining one. Do recommend tuning in if this was one that you had it was nowhere near your radar.
No, for sure. And I think the other thing that plays into the logic here for both of us is both of these teams need points. They both need a win. So what do you have to lose at this point? You have to go for it. So it's a good recipe for goals.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's too early in the season to be like, must not lose. Let's play for the 0-0. And I don't think these teams are capable of that anyway. We're going to move on now to another match. We've got, in fact, that Girona-Sevilla match was, I think, our only Saturday match of this whole card. Bayern is also on Saturday, but everything else on Sunday. This one later on Sunday, and this one could be an entertaining match in La Liga as well. We've got Celta de Vigo hosting Villarreal, and this one is lined as a pick'em, flat pick'em here. Also kind of eyebrow-raising for me, but the total set at 2.75, which is what Villarreal's total was set at last week, and I cashed on. That was one of my wins. I took the over there. Yeah, 5 goals in that one. Maybe the market has not caught on to how good Villarreal are looking under Marcelino this season so far and in preseason. Nick, what are you seeing?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna test in this one. So Celta's one of those teams. They don't have a win yet. They've played 3 games as opposed to 2. Most of the league has played 2. And Villarreal are sitting in first place. They haven't conceded a goal. So I'm going to take a shot at plus 140 on the money line. If we're wrong, we're wrong. I can't say I've watched either team, so take it with a grain of salt. But just looking at the numbers, is Villarreal back? I don't know, maybe. But the fact that they're plus 140 and they're sitting at the top of the table, I'm willing to take a shot.
Yeah, I love it. And I like that you're being greedy, right? You could take them on that pick there, the draw no bet. But yeah, I'm with you. What have we seen so far? Look, Celta have been one of the teams I've been really invested in the last couple of seasons. Really fun matches. They're typically up for a fight, but they often get beat in highly entertaining matches. And Villarreal are on fire right now. Look out, Man City. The UCL draw happened today. Man City are going away to Villarreal. That could be interesting. Yeah, if they keep playing like this, because I don't think it's fluky. I think under Marcelino, they're finally kind of gelling here. There's an identity, there's a way of playing, and it's pretty blistering if the preseason and the first couple of matches are to be believed. So once again, we're correlated here, slightly different play. I'm going Villarreal team total over 1.5. The card here on the screen says plus 100. I got it at plus 110. If you're into that play, get it now in case it gets any lower. But yeah, once again, we're correlated. Nick going with the bigger price, but we're both on plus money here, and it correlates, right? If Villarreal score 2 goals in this one, I think they have every chance of winning the match. Wouldn't you agree?
No question. To get a shutout in any game is impressive. To get 2 in a row, I don't really care who you play. You're talking about 180 plus minutes of football without conceding. Let's go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, they've scored what? 8
7
goals? 7 goals
yeah.
across the first 2? Yeah. No slouches. Well, that's going to wrap up La Liga. We got one more league to cover here, one final match, and it's over in Nick's favorite, at a Serie A. And we've got Genoa as home dogs in this one of plus a half a goal, hosting the old lady Juventus here. And this one is lined at another low total, the 2.25. And that's one I kind of get why it's lined that way. I wasn't sure about this one. I told you before we recorded, Nick, that I really haven't started capping Serie A yet. I've been a little late to the table for this season. So I'm going to give this one to you. What did you see in this match? Why did it make the card?
Yeah, and what I would say, it's only one weekend, right? It's behind the rest of the league, so not much to go off of yet if you're unfamiliar with it. This is a league where, I don't know, 6 of the top 8 teams had a manager change, so you're going to see a little bit of a slow start for a lot of these squads, but Juve isn't one of them. There's a little bit of consistency. They fired their manager midway through last year. Current manager took over halfway through. They thought he was going to move in the summer for, a big name. They couldn't attract anybody, so he stuck around and brought in Jonathan David. So anybody who's here in North America is familiar with that name. So a lot of people on Twitter at least seem to be very excited about it. Scored in his debut.
Yeah.
But the reasoning behind all of this, I try to not give Juve credit unless I absolutely have to. Genoa's just bad. You look at their lineup. I don't know where goals are coming from. They were a home favorite last week. They played a 0-0 game where I don't think they had a shot on target, or they certainly didn't look remotely close to scoring from what I watched. There's no reason Juve should be minus 118. So I am going with it. It scares me to say that because it just doesn't make sense. But Juve is just head and shoulders above Genoa, and this was the one line in Serie A that stood out to me. So we're going with Juve money line.
Yeah, look, I can't argue with it. I don't have a play for this match. This was one that Nick brought to the table because I actually kind of was like, Nick, bring something from Serie A. I want to cover it. And I'm just happy to take the data points from you. And it seems reasonable, right? I was one of those people excited to see Jonathan David get a move here because, look, we all know him in CONCACAF, right? He's scoring goals. We're watching him at various cups for Canada. But in the United States, not a lot of people watching Liga, not catching him regularly at Lille. So, Yeah, maybe here on Paramount Plus for us in the States, people get to see a little more Jonathan David action. And also, it looks like they're finalizing the deal for Kolo Muani. So they're going to have
Okay.
what? Kolo Muani, Vlahovic, and Jonathan David. That's a pretty deep striker bench.
Yeah, listen, you can never have too much offense. So if they're able to make all that happen, that's a big improvement for them. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yet another road favorite here on the Soccer Sharps for you guys tonight. But look,
Guys, we're going 6-0 or 0-6. I don't think there's an in between.
that's absolutely right. Can't go any other way. But look, it's one thing to talk about these matches, and it's quite another to put our money where our mouths are and pay the bookie.
Chuck, I'm going to tell you something. You have that fucking 200 in my hands tomorrow. If you ain't got the 200 in my fucking hands tomorrow, I'll break every fucking bone in your body.
Yes, indeed. Always have to pay the bookie. The bookie is winning against both of us so far this season. But this is where it turns around, Nick, right? We turn it around
100%.
right before the international break. We go into the international break on a high with some plus money plays cashed, and we're up in the game and ready to come back for match week 4. But yeah, here's a look at our plays for the weekend. I'll go ahead and read mine off here. And I love seeing that symmetry. Both of us having those first 2 plays just nice and sweet, locked in there. So, 2 units on those for the show, guys. Arsenal team total over 1.5 at plus 160. Love that price. Man City money line minus 120. I'm going Bayern Munich money line and over 3.5 at plus 115. I think the hand over fist Hansi Flick era of Bayern Munich money line and over 3.5 every week is back, baby. Going Girona, Sevilla, over 2.5 at plus 105. And finally, Villarreal, team total, over 1.5 at plus 110. Nick, tell us what you got.
Yeah, like you said, 100% aligned pretty much on all of our plays, but the first 2 are exact. Bayern Munich game, same theme here. We're looking at offense, so going with Michael Golise, as you said, 2 shots on target. Make sure that he starts if you're placing this bet, but plus 185 is a strong number. Girona, Sevilla, same theme here. Both teams to score. Offense, we are hoping for minus 110. Villarreal, money line and team total. You could parlay them if you feel good about it. Get an even better number. And finally, I'm closing out with Juve money line. Good team on the rise. Genoa's terrible. It's the Man City pick of Serie A this week.
Love to see it. And let's see, can I get us back here? There we are. Yeah, look, as you said, we go 6-0 or 0-6. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of in between. We're deeply correlated here. So a good day for Nick's going to be a good day for me and a good day for the podcast across the board. Listen, to everyone who joined us live, the number increased throughout. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's late on the East Coast and beyond. We had a guy the other day telling me he's watching from Finland. Love to see it. Good stuff. Really appreciate everyone being in here. If you could drop a like, subscribe. If you're not even on YouTube, you're watching on Spotify, you're listening on a podcast, just subscribe, download, spread the word through word of mouth. We're really trying to grow this thing. We like doing the hybrids with the Plus Money Pod and the Kicks and Picks Pod, which you'll find Nick on as well. Nick, you doing any of that this weekend?
Yeah, we actually recorded last night, so did a deep dive of that Liverpool-Arsenal game. One of our co-hosts is a big Liverpool fan, so if you guys are interested in a little more on that game, check it out. But certainly, same thing, trying to grow the YouTube. We've really transitioned from a podcast to more of a live show and a video-based show. So at Kicks Picks Pod on YouTube, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed the show, drop a like and a subscribe there, and going to have you guys on certainly for some big matchups in the EPL that are coming up that haven't asked you yet. So I'm going to ask you now. Trying to book out some shows here in September and October. So would love to have one or both of you on with us.
Well, we'd love to be there. And I think that Liverpool fan you're talking about is our friend Andrew Pissarro. Last time he was on our show was an absolute disaster because my internet was all dicked up, and it was probably for the best anyway because Andrew, Devin, and I were all on PSG for that Club World Cup final, and we all know how that one ended up. So, yeah, maybe for the best. This one was flawless, though. Hey, I did okay as the host, right? With the graphics and the stuff.
No
Did
doubt.
all right. Yeah, apart from Girona versus Girona, it was a smooth show. I think it worked out well. Nick, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on, my guy. And to the audience, thanks for being here. Thanks for following. Thanks for supporting. Let's make some money. We'll see you next time.
Good luck.
Bluesky